life is a tunnel, not a cave. You gotta keep walking and believe that someday you will see the splatter of life. It's a tunnel, not a cave. You gotta keep walking and believe that someday you will see.
Thank you for joining us today on the Round Table. My name is Yasmin, and I have the gang here as usual. Today, joining us on the show, we have celebrity dentist. He's been on radio for a very long time. Also has a show on radio. He is Dr. Smiles. That's what we all call him, of the the Smiles Shop. Okay, the Smiles Shop. Dr. Smiles. Everybody know Dr. Smiles in Kano. If you're in Kano, outside Kano, you should know Dr. Smiles. Because if you love to smile and you love to see people smile and you care about, everything that happens around here, then you should know Dr. Smiles. Well, we'll be talking today with him as we discuss dental health and sexual health. Does it make any sense? Anyway, we'll find out today what's the connection between underperformance and performing above average and keeping the teeth clean. A research recently did say that men who brushes their teeth at least twice a day have every tendency to perform well in bed. But men who do not brush their teeth at least twice a day have every reason not to do well and make their women very unsatisfied in bed. So today, discussing this issue with us, we have Dr. Smiles joining us in the studio. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for that introduction.
I cannot wait to hear everything.
I know information about dental health and
Sexual health.
What's the nexus?
Well, it's an interesting research, and it was done in Europe, across a couple of countries, about 7 or 8 countries. So it's still a process, a research that's ongoing. But it's interesting, what the researchers were able to find at this early stages, of this research, and it linked erectile dysfunction, or what some people will call male impotence or infertility, to dental health. So basically, there's a linkage or a correlation between poor oral hygiene and male infertility or erectile dysfunction, which actually affect sexual, performance or satisfaction, for most people. And it's interesting to know that, I always emphasize that the mouth is the most bacteria-inhabited part of the body.
Wow.
Yeah, so that means if there is a problem in the mouth, it's bound to manifest in other parts of the body. So not just sexual and health and reproductive organs, but it also affects blood sugar. So there's linkage between oral health and diabetes, oral health, and several other conditions as well, including rheumatic heart disease. So that's why when this reproductive part came up, it was very interesting to pick it up early and to see how this research can be replicated across other races, Caucasians, Black Africans, and all that. But basically, there are 3 possible ways that this happens. So when there's an infection, poor oral hygiene usually would lead to, cavities, increased rate of dental decay, gum disease also. So gum disease such as gingivitis or periodontitis, which basically means damage of the bone holding the teeth because of a lot of bacterial activity ongoing. So that is usually the result of poor oral hygiene. Now, this will lead to increased bacterial activity in the mouth. And of course, it will lead to bacteria in other parts of the body. So in tests that were carried out as part of this research, they noticed there was increased bacteria in the semen.
So Smiles, are there nerves? Is it through the stomach that this thing
through
gets
the blood system, through the lymphatic system? Yeah. So it basically means that when there's high activity of bacteria, so there will be higher activity of bacteria in the semen where the sperms usually are. Then the second possible pathway is this bacteria will affect sperm motility. So that's the movement, the way the sperm move, and also the man might be trying for a child, or they might be trying, and it doesn't. So it affects how well the sperm will move or travel. And we all know how many millions and millions of sperm need to travel to the ovum.
Yeah.
So, but if their movement is affected, definitely there will actually be
Infertility.
issues.
But then we have people in Nigeria that don't even brush their mouths and they have
At all.
like 200 children.
How does that happen? Maybe that affects Nigerians, huh?
Yeah, we're immune.
Yes. Likely.
Not necessarily. Genetics also has a role to play.
Okay.
You can't control genetics, but you can control oral hygiene or oral health. So, because despite the fact that oral diseases affect 90% of the population in the world, it is basically preventable. So, genetics also has a role to play in this. So, that's why more research is ongoing to actually see
Check
how
the
this
other
relates
parts.
in Africans. But there is definitely a linkage.
But it has not been. They've not found out if it affects women also. Because
No,
I
it also
checked, I
affects
didn't
women.
see anything.
It also affects
Oh, they said it affects women.
so poor oral hygiene also affects women in terms of them having preterm deliveries.
Oh, that's
Increased risk of miscarriages.
Oh
my God.
Yes, poor oral periodontitis. It's also linked with that. So yes, it affects both male reproductive and female reproductive. That's why it's an interesting finding. So it's not just only.
Why are they just finding out now? Like seriously, why are they just finding out now? All these years of research and blah blah blah.
Well, there are other things that have been coming up. So
And I think it's just maybe we just rare. For them, they know, they've always known. But for us, because it's not affecting you,
So
you
it
don't
just
know.
came out
You
to
know,
public
yes.
domain. So
Yeah.
that's how you know. And then the third possible
going
pathway is that in response to infections in the mouth, increased gum disease or dental caries or infections in the teeth, the body, actually the immune system actually tries to fight back and regulate that. But sometimes the immune system goes into overdrive. So beyond just dealing with what is in the mouth,
That's
it
other
also
things.
kills sperm cells that are just being produced. So these are the three possible pathways that researchers have actually looked into this. Overactivity of the lymphatic, that's the immune system of the body. Then increased bacterial activity in the semen. And then the bacteria actually also affecting sperm motility. So those are the three possible.
How can you cure it if somebody is being diagnosed with maybe this
diagnosis.
It's a how would I put it now? It's a collaboration between general physicians and of course the dentists, because there are also infertility that is of unknown cause. You've done it.
Talking about sorry, are you done? Talking about working general observations between all health worker, dentists, the optics, the general health person. Sometimes you're feeling some kind of way. You go to the hospital, for example, you're seeing a general doctor. He just gives you a series of tests. You go and do the test, and then you come back and they tell you nothing. Instead of referring you, they don't. How do they know? How are they able to like connect? Okay, go and see your dentist. Maybe it's a dental issue, or go see your eye. Yeah, they don't really. I've never really experienced that. No, I've never gone to a general hospital and tell me go and see your dentist. Maybe because your stomach pain is from your mouth, or I've never. No, as in it's in Nigeria. All the health practitioners I've visited.
Those
I've
you
never
visited.
Yes, the one they've never told me. Maybe your stomach pain is as a result of your.
don't know.
No, that's also why research like this helps, because it also helps us in the medical community.
Okay.
For instance, we as dentists in our training, we know that when there's increased loss of teeth, teeth just becoming mobile and falling out, there's most likely an increased blood sugar. That's a sign of on poorly managed
this
diabetes.
you will not know if you're
So
checking
several
diabetes.
times you don't detect diabetes just by going to see. Sometimes it's from the dental clinic that we say, go and do a blood sugar test, and they come back and it's very high. The person never knew. So it's part of our training to know that this disease could actually be seen from them.
That reminds me too. There was this program I watched on TV, and this woman complained of hair loss. Her hair was just breaking off and falling off, and the doctors told her that it might be as a result of poor dental hygiene.
Yes.
And when Tina told her she should go for this test and get back to
loss.
exactly hair loss. Yeah.
So that means there has to be a synergy
Between
the
the medical community.
Yes, the medical
That's
community
my
has
point.
to be
And
awareness.
that's why I'm sure that's why this research actually came out, to let people know that all this infertility of unknown causes or erectile dysfunction, there could be other things that we are not actually
Checking out.
checking out.
But then,
But an interesting thing
Yeah.
is they now tested some in this research. They tested the sperm from normal people with normal function, right, and then people who had erectile dysfunction or had been trying to conceive, so male infertility for a long time, and they realized that there was a change, when they had dental treatment done, that the cavities filled or the mouth washed or cleaned, that there was improvement in the sperm.
Wow.
So they could actually do, we call it in vitro. So that's test tube when you fertilize the egg.
In
and
vitro
so-
fertilization.
Yes. So when they tested the sperm after those people receiving dental care, it actually
Improved.
improved.
Oh,
Yeah. So
wow.
that's why it's a good sign that there could be. We should look at it in other
Other
races.
ways.
African-
Okay, away from this research, I just want to ask. I know, not just from movies, but I know a lot of people do not look forward to seeing a dentist.
Yes.
They don't
We don't.
look forward to
I
seeing a
understand.
dentist.
The last
There's this
time
fear,
yeah.
yeah, for them.
The last time I went to Dr. Smiles, you're here now. Confess your sins to the world. Like, tell them. I just went for shining and polishing, right? The way you guys call it. And the next thing, they were filling holes in my teeth. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, you have cavities. It counted. I mean, you counted about 16 or something.
Actually,
I was like, oh my God. I
had
didn't know.
a series of dental issues right from when I was growing up. I have so many teeth that I'll have them removed.
Man, baby, you try.
So
Your own education is
that's going to be starting point where I answer your question. So past experience is part of the reason. Why
Yes, it's very scary.
done. And then some people is borrowed experience.
Mm.
So your
Yes.
friend, someone tells you,
Yes.
that time I went, it was painful, it was this, it was that, and then you say, I am not going to go. Your experience doesn't have to be. We all agree, human beings, we are different.
Yes.
We respond differently.
Yeah.
So that someone had this experience doesn't necessarily mean that it will also be your experience.
Yeah.
So shared experiences and then past experiences are responsible
Discourage
most times
people.
for this dental phobia.
We still have more issues to talk about, and Dr. Smiles is still here with us. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. A 27-year-old somewhere in the world decides to sue his parents for not giving them consent to have him. As crazy as it may sound, at some point in our lives, we've also had that feeling to either run away or doubt the paternity of ourselves,
Yeah.
our siblings, to be very sure if these people will call father and mother are actually our fathers and mother. But if you have the chance, the opportunity to change your childhood, would you still want to be born in the family you're born in today? Would you want them to?
Yes, I'll still want the same mother, but I think I'll absolutely not want the same lifestyle.
Okay.
Yes, for me, I prefer to have been born in somewhere like Canada, the elite of the society.
So the
Great Britain life.
The Great Britain. Well done.
So if you were given the opportunity in heaven to pick a parent or pick the country you want to come from, you wouldn't have picked Nigeria.
No, that you
No,
know.
I'll pick my mom
You pick your mom.
because she's
Okay.
super cool.
But your mom is still the
Nigerian,
same mom
she's
now.
still
She's still
Nigerian.
My mom
Nigerian.
is
She don't
anything
share
does not matter now. She will just go to Canada and go and give us something. We stay there, no problem.
Okay, what do you think?
Seriously, how do we seek consent to be given birth?
That's
You
crazy.
can't see content to be given birth to.
It's
But
crazy.
it's just like I always say, and sometimes I don't. Some of us, I've had a discussion with you guys, and then I said I don't want to have a child, and you find this very funny. But the truth is, you don't have the right to bring a child you cannot train.
Train.
And then many of our parents have made this mistake already. We can't go back. Honestly, I feel that guy's
But
pain.
call it
If
a
I'm
mistake.
if I am
You call it a
him,
mistake.
no. What I mean when I say mistake is they don't plan properly before having children. Most of them don't plan well.
Unplanned.
Four. And then you have them and then you can't give the child everything and then you're not even able to parent the child well. Do you know the trauma a person has to live with for the rest of his or her life because of poor parenting? It's very terrible. So imagine that guy feeling that way. He's going through a lot. He doesn't know what to do but think he should sue his parents. I know from personal experience some times back when I actually doubted if my dad was my dad. And I was telling her, I said, if I have the time and the money for it, I will sue these people. I will sue my dad and my mom and come and tell me openly, because you have frustrated my life, because you are not, this one will tell me I'm not this one's child, this one will tell me go away, you go and meet this one to ask, so it really has a way of frustrating someone. And then if you have a chance to sue them, honestly, sue them and put them in court to see them.
Well, anyway, let me bring it back another angle.
Alright.
So it takes a lot of resources to sue someone, because you should prove your case. So from the medical perspective, I would ask that the judge makes sure that the child, that man, not boy, is all right. 27-year-old man, that he's mentally okay. Because you have to wait. Come on, really. How can I prove?
You should be grateful.
So there should be a medical examination for either the child and then the parents also, because yes, like you said, sometimes parents are responsible for things like this. There might have been some abuse while the child was growing up, and stuff like that. But for him also, he needs to also be just nobody
live past it, Abby.
Just to be ensure that he's in the right frame of mind to actually take this step to sue someone.
Yes.
I don't know how it's going to
No, you see, maybe the trauma, maybe still going through this trauma. We have grown. We're able to help ourselves, and we're out to live past it.
We still have less than 27 on this table, so we've not grown.
Yeah.
So what I mean is, personally, I've been able to live past my parents'
I just think
mistakes and all
Africans,
that.
especially Nigeria, we have this shock absorber for uncertainties,
exactly.
for weird things happening to us. But looking at this, the
guy is still going through
sometimes these children, we talked about someone, an actress before now, and we said, okay, maybe because it was social media, we don't know her relationship with the child, and some of us on the table talked about our own experiences. At some point you're like, I didn't ask to be born, so why are you treating me like this?
I don't deserve
like
it.
That happened.
Yes,
I don't know about you, but I've actually had
I have too.
Why am I here if you're going to treat me like this?
Why don't you just leave me on? And this is
leave me in heaven, I'll be an angel.
No, this issue is going to lead us to saying that abortion should be done constantly. Because if a parent decides, abortion shouldn't be fought against. No, shouldn't be illegalized. What I mean, like, if a parent decides, I don't want to have this child, doesn't have the right, and I'm not taking right from this child to give birth to this child, then let me not have the child and kill the child. Which one is now better?
God bless you.
Because it's now
looking like from the child is like when you're legally married, now this is the right foundation, right environment to have a child. But when you're not and the child is coming, you didn't have to come.
Or even if you're married around. So what are you doing?
You see, it goes back to the couple's decisions. When you're in marriage, you very decided, okay, I want to give birth to so amount of children.
Yeah.
I want to give birth to 2, 3, 4, maybe 10. So, but how are you going to cater for those children?
That's an
If you don't plan for all of these things like this.
Don't forget that even when you have planned, unforeseen occurrence.
You will keep mentioning plan. But you will know, as fast as you make a plan, that's the same way the plan gets thrown.
Yes, unforeseen occurrences.
And then, wait, hold on. One's life can change within a split second.
Yeah.
The person's life just turns around automatically. So you can't say that for parents to bring in children to this life, they have to sit down and systematically plan. They should know their capacity at the point of making the decision of, okay, I want to have this child. Then they know, okay, we have the capacity to take care of one. And then you have one. When you know your capacity has changed, then you can have 100. But then even if you're having that much children, always ensure that there is a
proper structure.
Thank you, structure. Your mind is framed in a way that, okay, I can protect this child to this level. But then we always do this thing. I realize human beings tend to fall back on blame other people for their issues. Sometimes we should look beyond what is happening to us or beyond people around us that we think they caused the problem and take responsibility for our lives. It is our own life. No matter what your parents have done in the past, maybe having you can't even make this decision if they didn't have you.
Yeah, you can't.
So how can he grow up to the point that he thinks, okay, he now has enough balls and muscles, he wants to go and fight?
He has not grown. That's just the fact. Is he going to
let's leave it to the point.
27. What is they still abusing him? They're still abusing him and stuff.
Is a grown man. Let's leave it to the point.
Push this to Hawa the lawyer, so she tell us updates about this. We'll take a short break. Return with She Matters. You don't go away.
Okay, you're welcome back, and we're still right here discussing issues that matters to you. And right now we're tuning towards love. Love is a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, you know. But the question now today is, people have gone to the extreme to find love. What would you do to find love? So people even relocate from their current locations to a different place, Kano to Lagos, Nigeria to Canada, Canada to Europe, just to find love. Ladies and gentlemen, how much are you willing to do to find love?
Well, I think as much as it takes. Well,
As much as relocating from Kano to Europe.
Well, it depends. You know, for people that are basically jobless, they have location at the tip of their finger. But if you're not, you can't just up and leave because you want to go and chase love. You understand? Except if the love has been solidified. Then you people can solidify yourself. Maybe one person is here and that person is there. Okay, you guys will find a way to align. But if it is not solidified yet, there's no definition. Maybe if you decide you want to just remain life partners, you've agreed you'll be life partners but not married. Fine, that there's an agreement. You've done.
So, Tina, what's the craziest thing you've done for love?
For love? Yeah, I don't know. Wait, craziest thing.
Have you ever been in love? Have you been in love?
Yes, now so many times. That's like my middle name. My friends have issues with me because of
seriously,
that.
are you supposed to chase love?
Chase love.
Maybe fight for it, not really chase.
That's where I want to come.
Yes.
I think I'm of the school of thought that love finds you.
Exactly.
You just have to be ready.
Yeah.
Love finds you. So
what if you're not in correct position? You're not well positioned for love to find you.
you.
Imagine, okay, let me give you a scenario now. This man has daughters and he doesn't allow his daughters to go out. As I'm speaking to you right now, he has a daughter of about 34 years old. The girls cannot travel without, they can't travel. If they have to travel, I invited one to Kano, they're in Abuja. And the mother said she can't allow them to travel.
What?
They can't travel they can't move without their parents' consent. That's just a fact.
Okay,
now, how will love locate that kind of person inside the house? Please tell me, I beg.
The other option is you're asking the ladies to run away from.
I'm not saying I will not give them any advice, but I'm just asking you. Like you said, love will find you. Yes.
Well, how will love find love on
them?
social media?
It will find you because that's what technology has also helped. It has been bridged a lot.
Fake love. That's why we have lots of fake loves.
No,
because when you meet someone online and it's not real,
Some are real
on the internet.
Yes, but it's about being open.
So
to
what's
find
the
love.
craziest thing you've done for love?
Maybe I'll come back. It does not come to
What about you?
The craziest thing
Yeah.
I've done for love.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer.
What's
I won't say it.
Is it your say? Is it your say?
I just can't
Pick
please?
one.
Because you've done so many things for love.
You know, sometimes when people get heartbroken, they decide that, okay, I'm not going to love again. Like some persons I know, they say they won't love
Excuse
again.
me.
They cannot love.
Excuse me.
Don't
Don't go.
But then, for me, I see love as an opportunity to always give. You know, so even when someone breaks your heart at one point in time, if you're going into the next one, I think you should still be willing to
Open-minded.
Yes, be open-minded. Give all it takes. So all that
Just go with your brain.
crazy.
When you're going,
That's what's the craziest thing you've
But
done
then
for
it's
love?
crazy. That's a crazy system. That's a
Tina,
crazy
hold on.
system.
Okay, now I remember the craziest.
Oh,
thing.
you remember? Okay. Just to
Oh, way back when I
tell
was in school. So I went to this school, right? That was it was rife with cultist activity
Okay.
and gang killings and all, and it was unsafe to work outside once it's 7 p.m.
PM. Okay.
But I could stay out till 11, 12
Oh my God, you really
to go.
wow.
just go
So
visit.
when years later when I was thinking about it, I was like, you're crazy. So how come all those months, all those years you were safe and nobody saw
I
you?
think that isn't just crazy, but it's the dumbest thing. And I know Kenny, the photographer Kenny is here. Okay, I know he'll be like, she started again. So I remember this time, I just started radio then. And it was just, when you just started, was it in the 90s? No, it was early 2000s. And the lots of, R&B, like real traditional songs. So I found somebody who, was vibing the same way I was vibing. And we decided to just try all those, Table for Two by Joe. Just, do those things. So we're doing these things in his car. And we, police were behind us, the police van. They just came. And the police came and they were like, don't wear anything. One, we couldn't tell them our names. didn't tell them our names.
God, that's
And secondly, I was like, oh, I'm a pastor's daughter. I am gone. That's what I was thinking about. Then our voice gave us out. Because when the guy came down and the guy was like, we're not trying to like, oh, you talk like this person. And when I said, like, you did it, sounded like a show. Like, okay, don't worry. We we're just trying. They now laughed. So okay, well, I was so embarrassed. So embarrassed.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was
Well, it was
really
only
good.
the police, so at least
It was
they
only
didn't
police.
video you.
No, they didn't. It was a social media time then.
So
Yes,
you were
then you were
lucky.
safe.
Yes, now it was really unsafe. You know that roundabout Elemo? That was how far we went to.
Went to and
That was
in the
exactly
north
how-
again.
I'm telling you,
So
we
you
packed
guys-
them.
you
We were
guys
just
took a lot
listening
of
to good
risks.
music, and I was like, come on.
You were expecting me to say mine now at this time.
Yeah.
I will not say
I can't even
mine.
remember what crazy thing I'm
Okay, I will not say mine, but I just know that there was flight issue. I
Yeah.
was supposed to take a plane, and then I was there
You don't
somewhere,
trek.
loving up.
You
And then the plane doors make shots, and then that money don't be me pay for the flight. I
But you
didn't pay.
serious? We've done really crazy things.
I know crazy things.
Like you use your school
Nothing
fees to
crazy.
like fly out of Canada to Lagos to see a man.
No,
Let's not even go there. Let's not even go there.
And there's no school fees to pay.
To pay.
And you come back in, and that's when you're hearing.
You
that,
know,
I'm sorry, I don't know
love
how
is
to
a
tell you
beautiful
about my
thing.
last week.
I've done something like that. I just remember.
Love
You just
makes
remember
you
you
do a
done
lot
something
of
like this.
things.
I know where you were traveling to. It was my state. Alright, thank you for being back to the show. Dr. Smiles, thank you so much for being here. But before you go, so tell us what are the basics for dental health? Basic things you want us to do.
Well, number one, visit your dentist at
Okay.
least once
Don't be
every
scared.
year.
I'm visiting you.
Yes, don't be scared. I mean, we
Yeah,
become
it's so
friends
scary.
after you visited, but at least once every year. And then the second one is what you can do by yourself at home. So brush twice every day,
Male, female.
after breakfast and before going to bed.
Okay.
Emphasis
After
on
breakfast is
I knew
emphasis.
someone was going to
After
shout.
okay. I do after breakfast. I do after
Yes,
breakfast.
after breakfast and before going
To
to
bed.
bed.
Okay, when you wake up, you don't.
You know now you're brushed
Just
at
have
night.
breakfast.
Yes,
Yeah.
because if
What
you're
is
brushed
this?
at night, you wouldn't have that mouth.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because your mouth is closed at night. So if you clean it up,
So-
there's nothing for the
Sorry, a
bacteria
quick
to clean
question,
up.
please. Is it true that you don't brush your teeth immediately after you've taken lime?
Yes, because lime is acidic, so it actually increases the acidity in the mouth.
Oh.
So it exposes the enamel, which is the white part of your
Yes.
tooth, and makes it easier for the brushing to actually remove
them.
that.
Oh.
So it causes sensitivity in the long run. So when you take
Wow.
acidic foods like that, you don't.
How about I use mouthwash instead of me brushing
How
at
are-
night?
How are
You
you
consult
for
the doctor later.
consultation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go see
No, I
Dr.
just need
Smiles
to know.
at the Smiles shop.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Smiles, for coming.
So,
I think we should go to your office soon. You're coming very soon with our cameras and just see how you do this.
you're welcome.
Thank you
You're
so much for
welcome.
coming.
Thank you so
And
much,
hopefully when we
Becca.
invite
Thank
you,
you.
you honor our invitation
Yes,
again.
I'm coming, yeah.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for being part of the show. And hey, we are so grateful that you were part of the show today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.